Hi everybody, Kevin McNamara here. Welcome to the Inspired Healing Podcast. This is a podcast for those looking to change their lives. They're prepared to get out of their comfort zones. They want to reach their true potential. We have inspiring guests who have done all that. They've healed themselves, got out of their comfort zones, gone on to live amazing lives. We talk about the Stoics and the Stoic philosophy and really every topic in the personal development niche. And we've just launched our 123 Meditation Club membership program. We present 5 live meditations a week. The link is down below in the show notes. Come and join us there. And please support our sponsor, mealfan.com, the world's best food delivery service. Link is in the show notes. Let's go inside.
Morning everybody, it's Kev here. Welcome to the Inspired Healing Podcast. It's the weekend again. Boy, they come around fast, don't they? So I've just been out running, actually quite a mild morning this morning. Very interesting. First time I haven't worn a jacket or a coat out while I've been running during this winter and spring. Is it spring now? Yeah, it is spring. So today I just wanted to talk about a really great quote from a guy I spoke about earlier in the week, Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning. He's the guy that was in the prisoner of war camps in Nazi Germany, survived them and just had an amazing mindset. Really interesting quote. It's going to make you think, this one really is going to make you think. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. So between what triggers you and the response you give, there's a little space there. That's what that means. In that space is our power to choose our response. Viktor Frankl. I'll just read that again. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. Now just think of things that trigger you, that stimulus that makes you respond really quickly and sometimes angrily. Just think of some of those situations and you'll sort of understand what we're talking about here. So something like maybe your partner gives you a hard time over something, and you immediately respond with anger or whatever it may be. As Viktor Frankl says, in that space between the stimulus and the response, there is a space there for you to actually choose your response and just think about it. So something happens, you respond, generally straight away. But there's a little space there to think about it and just think if you're going to respond angrily or give yourself time to think. And I really love that because, I know I'll be scrolling through Facebook and I'll see something about this pandemic that I don't like and I'll immediately just feel anger inside. But there's a space there for me to actually distance myself from that and just keep scrolling through. Not strolling through. So I think it's just a great quote that really tells us to really don't just instantly respond. Don't just be triggered. Really think about how you are going to respond to something. And if you are having a fight with your partner or a friend or whoever, just give yourself that space. Just sit back and just think first before you respond in an angry manner. Just give yourself that bit of space, and it's always there. And he's so right. Between stimulus and the response, there is this space. And we get a chance to actually choose what our response will be. And maybe it still will be a bit of anger, but if you give yourself that space, that time to think about things, then you may just respond in a neutral manner rather than letting your anger build up. But it's also about controlling yourself. It's all about controlling us. If we just always just respond in an angry manner, well, if we give ourselves that time, that space between that response, just to think about what we're going to do. And I think it's just all about just not jumping in and just abusing someone just for the sake of it. And just because that's our habit, we just jump in and just, abuse someone or we react, in a weird way to someone. Think about that space next time you're in that situation. If you are in an argument and there's nothing better when you are in an argument or there's some anger between two people, to just stop and just stop sending that anger. Because if you've got lots of anger together, it's like two heads butting together. And if you just stop with the anger, then there's only one head that wants to come and butt, but you're not doing it. So it's got nothing to butt against. So it just goes right on by and it diffuses the situation. So I just think it's a very deep quote, something we should all think about, is to really just think about our responses, give ourselves that time and that space before we respond with whether it's anger or whatever it might be. But generally, I think whenever I think of something like this, I think it's anger that people have when they respond without even thinking. And there's just so many different sets of circumstances that you can think of where this happens, especially at the moment with the pandemic. There's so many people who, it's like there's two sides, and it's the same all around the world. It's this tribal thing. Certainly over in America, there's the Trump lovers and there's the Democrat lovers, and they just absolutely despise each other. And it doesn't matter what someone says on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, as soon as one of them sees it, on the other side, they just respond with pure anger. So just imagine if we all just stopped and just thought about our response. And it's the same here in Australia, especially in Melbourne. We've got the people that love Dan Andrews, the people that hate him. And it's just this crushing of heads. And if everyone just stopped and just thought about it, just jumped into that little space between the stimulus and the response, how much better would it be? We could think about it and just calm ourselves down and just move on to the next thing and not get involved in that sort of stuff anyway, because it's just going to cause turmoil inside you. Just think about that. I'll just read that quote once more because I just love it. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. Viktor Frankl, the great stoic Viktor Frankl. He epitomises stoicism, that's for sure. And I mentioned the other day, a great book, Man's Search for Meaning. Go and make sure you read that book. It is just brilliant. Really give you a great perspective on life. Okay, guys, thanks for that. Appreciate you being here. I'll see you all tomorrow.
I really hope you enjoyed today's podcast. If you did, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review. It really helps. Share it with your friends and your family. And please, check out the 123 Meditation Club membership program. We go live 5 days a week with meditations. Give yourself the gift of less stress and more peace. The link is down below. Thanks for listening.